Hey, and welcome to Girl Talk. Hi, my beautiful ladies. Happy Sunday, and I hope you all enjoyed your Valentine's Day with your special loved one, whoever celebrates and whoever doesn't. I still hope you enjoyed your Saturday. So, thank you for tuning in to Girl Talk with your girl Key. Today's episode, we are covering our conversation. I like to say conversation because these are definitely not episodes, they are conversations. I'm a little under the weather today. Still, it's been like 2 weeks, guys, and I shook it, then it came back. My allergies, sinus, everything is just out of whack. So if y'all hear me sniffling and just look past it, okay? Just look past it because I'm still coming to you. I'm still in the room because I love y'all and I want y'all to get this information so bad. So let's get into it. Today's conversation, I wanted to discuss turning your passions into residual income, revenue. How did we do that? So let's just talk a little bit about me. I'm going to tell you about how I did it. As I've said before, I am not a millionaire yet, though I have touched a million. It wasn't mine. But I want to touch my own million, right? We are all in this era where we want to get rich quick. We want to get rich fast. We want to do what everybody else is doing. First thing first, you got to focus. You got to focus on what it is that you are good at, what you want to do, what makes you happy, and what you actually like doing. Just because you're doing it don't mean you like doing it. A lot of people go to jobs and they don't actually like their job. They don't like, they're just doing what they have to do to provide an income, take care of their families, eat, maintain bills, and maintain a livelihood. But it's not necessarily something they like doing. When it comes down to starting a business, creating a product, you want to make sure it's something that you actually like and believe in, right? Because if not, it's not going to work. So here's what I did, and I'm not going to hold y'all. I'm never going to hold y'all over here because everything that I have to tell you is stuff that I've actually done. I'm not going to ever come in and talk to you about something that somebody else is doing or what I heard or they said. You can go to Run Your Mouth podcast and get that on your audio wherever you stream your podcast. That's what we're talking about, worldly stuff. Over here, we're talking about girl stuff that can benefit Black women, things that we need to do in this industry, in this world, in our society to keep us pushing forward. And one of the things I did was I sat down and I asked myself, what do I like to do? What is it that I would actually like to do that can provide me with income? So at first I made mistakes. We got to understand that our failure is a part of our success. We are going to make mistakes when you start out. Nothing is going to come by way of overnight success. That's BS. That's BS that people want to make you believe. The facade that the celebrities who have already bust their butts, got a handout or however they got there, they've already done it. So when it comes down to us everyday people, we have to factor in failure as a part of our success and be willing to accept that. It's growth. So I focus. I live by my FC3 theory. The 3 C's in my life and in creating and doing anything, even going to my regular job, I do these 3 things. I focus on what I'm going to do for the day. I create my plan for the day and I commit to it. So when you focus and you create and you commit, you can definitely be successful. And let me tell you, stop equating success with popularity and celebrities. You will not all celebrities won't always be celebrities. 15 minutes will be here and gone. But once you achieve success, you can always be successful. You won't always be popular, but you can always be successful. So what I did to start my business, to start my clothing line, to start my publishing, initially when I decided I was going to publish children's books, I did a publishing company. Big mistake. Why? For me, it was a big mistake. I don't know what everybody else's story is, but I'm just going to share with you mine. I didn't want to do the work. I was lazy. I didn't want to do the work, so I paid somebody to do it. I had the vision. I knew what I wanted to see implemented. I had my character, and mind you, my character was inspired by my very own grandson, from literature and journaling that I had done since I was a kid. But back then we had fairy tales like Puff the Magic Dragon, Clifford the Big Red Dog. And so I would take bits and pieces of that and I would write my own fairy tale, but I didn't want to use an animal. I always wanted to be an actual kid. So when I had my grandson, well, my daughter had my grandson, I said, hey, let me foster in my creative works from the past and create a character. And I based my whole entire character around his likeliness, with her permission, of course. Changed a few things. He's a little bit, he was a little guy when he was born, of course. So my character had to be of a certain age group. So I aged him a little bit forward so that he could appease to the 2 and 8 year John Rays, because the grandbaby was just a baby at the time. So who wants to be reading about a baby at 8, 9 years old? Who wants to be talking about an infant? So I had to age the character. But long and short, I entered into an agreement with a publishing company who gave me upfront monies, promised me this, that. I paid them, and then they gave me so many copies, promised to put me on these platforms and basically act as my agent, my liaison. It's a publishing company. Baby, when I tell you, I still ain't got my money. This was in 2019. I got my first check, and I was like, whoa, all this from a little children's book. Okay. Then the greed started happening. Then the control started fostering in. I had a great illustrator, great project, great ideas, great collab. But what people don't understand when you enter into these type of agreements with publishing companies, a lot of times they want to take over and they don't have control. They don't have control of your royalties. They don't have control of your product. So I was a little savvy. I had already did my homework, and I said, I'm gonna take this thing step by step, because I'm not selling my character to anyone. I'm not gonna sell my product and not have control or say so in how it's published and going forward. So we got into this bump. My works was being used behind my back. Monies was being disappearing out of my account, because when you have a publisher, a traditional publisher, or either a self-publishing company, you don't have control over your account. They have control over that account, and they send you an itemized payment sheet based on your sales on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, wherever your platform has decided to carry your product. So you don't necessarily know. It goes to your publisher. I didn't like that, because I knew once I requested my itemized list, I had sold way more books than what I ever got paid for. That was a learning experience, and it's okay. I lived and I learned. So what I did was I scaled back, pulled the book off the shelf, redid the whole thing. Well, I kept the same format, but I pulled off the publisher who was on the original book. I had to wait the allotted amount of time before I could publish it again. My own stuff now, I still had to wait because I had to get it out of circulation. I learned a valuable lesson. Know a little bit about what you're doing before you enter into these agreements. That's why we have all these celebrities and ball players who jump up and turn around a year or two later. They've signed for millions of dollars, but then they broke because they didn't read the fine print and they didn't understand the contract. They didn't get in tune with the business. I got in tune with the business side and I stretched it out because I knew this wasn't a get rich quick thing. So back it up a little bit. How I started my fountain of wealth. I took my own money. I know we all got this whole concept in our head that, oh, we gotta save, we gotta save, we gotta save, we gotta pour into our 401k, and we gotta do this and we gotta do that because when we get old, we need money. Okay, what if you don't ever get old? What if you don't ever get old? What if you are in your last days already? Don't even know it. So you got to live every day like it's your last. I'm not saying go out here and zap out your accounts. I took $10,000. I started with $10,000. I said, I don't know where my money's going in 401k. I don't know who they're investing in. I don't know what these investments are. So a lot of the times it's not even things that I would invest in. You have very minimal control over your 401k investments when it's through your employer. So I played around a little bit, and thankfully, I have a daughter that's a financial advisor. I listened even when she think I didn't. I listened and I learned, and I said, hey, I didn't get this when I was coming up. So let me pay attention to my portfolio and see where my money's going and which monies I can pull that I don't absolutely need to invest it in this here. So I didn't like the whole fact that I get penalized anyway when I take my own money. So I said, you know what? I'm not gonna go and do. When I started my cleaning company back in 2006 when I was married, we went the traditional route, went and got loan, went to the bank, got business license, all this and the third. We got that because we just didn't foster we didn't foster the business like we should have to watch it grow. So with this project, I said I'm not going to borrow money. I'm not going to go and get in all this debt because if it doesn't work, I still got to pay this loan back. First 3 to 5 years, you can anticipate not making any money when it comes to apparel, publishing, a product. I have products that I'm in patent stage now. I have yet to even release because I'm still in test phase. So I'm spending all this money into these products, but I'm not yielding any revenue because that's just the way sales works. So I said I don't want to have loans and debt if I'm not making money yet. So I took my money. Take your money. It's just sitting there. You if you get old, you can make more money. You continuing to work, you can save more. But to build your dream, start with your dream with your money. Do not go into a business. We are not millionaires. So we can't go and throw a bunch of money into a business and we need that money, and the business may not even make money for the first 5, 10, maybe even years. When I met with Brian Smith, the founder of Uggs, his story was so compelling because he spoke of the many times that he wanted to give up, and that he just was working out here, boots on the ground, going from state to state, trying to sell this product and paying for hotels, paying for travel, wasn't making any money. That's how the business works. You're gonna lose money before you make money. So that y'all don't get caught up in all these facades that y'all see on social media where people are, oh, buy this and you're guaranteed to make $1 million in 6 months. Google them. I bet you they ain't made $1 million in 6 months. All this, I'm gonna tell you how to do something that I've never done, people. No. Save your time, save your money, invest in yourself, and talk to people who have actually done it. I tapped in with people who actually when I first branded my shirt, um, I was just looking, I was like, people are wearing t-shirts and sweatshirts, and literally I wear my brand all the time. When I'm not working or when I'm not out doing a event where I gotta dress up, like this is me. It is what it is. This is what I like. I don't like to do all the fluff. I don't like all the makeup. I don't want to do all that every day. I want to be comfortable, and when I need to do that, I can. But for the most part, I want something sleek and comfortable. So I started with my t-shirts. I met a guy on Instagram who already had a wrap company. He wrapped vehicles. So he did screen print on the side. He was already a screen printer. He was wrapping vehicles. This is his main job. He and his wife had an in-home screen printing service. When I tell y'all he gave me the game, he gave me the game. I started out my trunk. I started selling t-shirts in my living room with my daughter, everybody folding t-shirts, and I got them in my trunk, and I'm going to the Waffle House. I'm going downtown. I'm going here. I'm going there. Flipped my first 1,000. I was like, I'm not getting ready to do this. I'm not getting ready to do this every weekend. No, ma'am. But I had to understand that I had to put it to work. And I'm still lacking in a lot of my marketing because I'm just not that outdoorsy person who wants to go into all the events and, do this and do that. So I spend a lot of my time social media marketing, which I'm still not doing as much as I should be doing, but I did well. So 2019, when I did everything in 2019, I launched my first publication. I created my online apparel, Me Versus Me, My Journey is Personal, 7 clothing, because 7 means completion. And I started Read It Group, my consulting firm. So I push myself. I'm not saying push yourself. Don't push yourself because it takes a lot of time. And mind you, I still had a full-time job. I was still traveling at the time, running all over. All I had was my suitcase, my microphone, my phone, my laptop, and I'm writing. I'm just writing. I'm like, I'm going to do 7 series, and then I'm going to put this book into network. I'm going to go on the big screen. But y'all, here we are, 2026. I got 2 books published. Clothing line is great. I'm currently offline because I'm relaunching, revamping, because you do have to do that. You have to pull back sometimes and look at where your gains and your losses are pull product off, put product on, but not do too much. I'm not doing too much. It's not too busy. So I started with that 10 grand and I did all those things. I opened all those entities with 10 grand of my own money. Did I miss my money? Yes. But I said, hey, what you want to do? You want to push back on running the street? The world is going to be here. And if it ain't, then you ain't miss nothing, because you can't miss what you never had, right? Or do you want to go ahead and pour into your dreams right now and not beg, bum, and borrow? I didn't want to beg, bum, and borrow. And things happen along the way. I hit bumps and bruises along the way, and I'm still hitting bumps and bruises. Don't ever think that there's a day where you wake up, lay down, you're not going to have losses and failures, because you will. That's how you keep building your brand and building your business. But the one thing that I realized, and out of a year and some change, when I went live with the consulting part of Read It Group, I've only had 3 clients. But those 3 clients have been 3 of the best clients. They've sent me many and many, 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 many leads, many of opportunities, and foremost, they've sent me success stories. What I told them in the plan that I built for them, based on the plan that I built for myself, worked. I can't teach you how to go out here and be an astronaut. I'm not an astronaut. I can't teach you how to go out here and well, I can't teach architect, because in my mind I think I'm an architect. But for the most part, what I'm saying is I try to deliver what I have already done and been successful at. I have a successful clothing line. I have a successful publication. I'm still publicizing material. I have 2 women's affirmation books, and I worked on them. One of them was supposed to be a novel. I broke it down, and I shouldn't have. That was mistake number 1, and I'm thinking I'm going to pull that one and go ahead and implement it into the actual novel that it was supposed to be in, because I caught a lot of mistakes. And now, granted, sometimes when you self-publish, you're going to make mistakes. Your editor going to make mistakes. Stuff going to go to print, and you're going to look over it, and you're going to think it's right, and then when they get out there, it's wrong. I found so many things that was wrong, and I was like, oh my God, it's already out here. But guess what, y'all? It's already out there. Little guy, he's selling in multiple countries. He's in multiple languages. The print is thriving. So I know that the series is going to be great. And I say all that to say 10 grand. Took my 10 grand, and I believed in me, because you can't get into the whole social media and the whole facade of thinking that everybody has to pour into you if you're not pouring into yourself. Everybody doesn't have to pour into you. Everybody's not going to believe in your product. Everybody's not going to believe in you. And let's face it, we get a little money, and the first thing we want to do is start spending it. We want to start living like a celebrity. First of all, those people have already been through the poorhouse. They've already built their brand. They've already climbed the mountain, so they can afford to get yachts and run around and buy Birkin bags and do all this stuff. You cannot take all your money that you made, first pay yourself. I didn't do that my first couple of years. I was steady pouring into the business. I look back and I'm like, I owe all these taxes now. I didn't pay myself. Pay yourself. That's the first and foremost. And put back your money for your production, your manufacturing, or your overhead, or whatever it is. If you're brick and mortar, I'm not brick and mortar yet, but that's the plan. And I know a lot of times we've heard over the years, brick and mortar is going out the window. No, it's not. That's just like me with my business cards. I still have business cards. I do digital, but I have business cards, because nothing's going to ever phase completely out. Nothing. No matter how much technology we get, you're still going to have to tap into all sectors. You're going to have to be fluent in every sector. People who have businesses who say, oh, I don't do social media, they ain't going to thrive, because this is a social media world. You got to have both. You cannot have a business that's all brick and mortar and say you don't do social media. What if nobody ever walks down the street? You can't have a whole complete online business and never want to tap into putting your product inside stores. What if the 50,000 people are not online, but they're going inside the store? You just lost 50,000 sales. So you have to have both balanced. You can't spend all your time over here. You can't spend all your time over here. You have to balance it out. And that's where I've come in my business now. I'm balanced. I know what I want. I focus. I've created the plan. I've committed to the plan. And lastly, conquer the plan. Focus, create it, commit to it, conquer it. And you'll be great. Use as much of your own money as you can. And I can tailor your guide for you. I do sell this. I'm not giving away nothing anymore because, at first I used to always help people out. Oh, well, let me help you. Let me show you how to do this because I did have help. But a lot of stuff I paid for. And the things that I paid for was the least usable information. That's the crazy part. The people who genuinely helped me and didn't charge me were the most helpful people. Like this guy printed like 150 shirts for me. He charged me for the print, but the game he gave me free. We collaborated free. He already had his platform, already had his clientele built up because he wrapping cars in Decatur all over the place. He had his stuff together. So he was like, I believe in you and I believe this is what you need to do. Let me tell you how to get your storefront set up. All of that he usually sell. He gave me the game free. And I'm so grateful. And no, y'all not getting his name. But he sat me down and he zoomed with me. He called, he FaceTime, everything. Hey, set this up. Do this, do this. This is where you want to get your vendors from. This is it. Just everything that I needed to get off the ground. He helped me. So I have paid it forward, helped a lot of people along the way, but some people are just not appreciative. His help came with a collab. I tagged him as a collab. Like, this is my collaboration. This is the guy who put me on. Every time I sell a shirt or every time I get a click, he getting a click because he has the larger platform. A lot of people don't do that. They watch you and they leech off of you, but they don't ever collab with you. And it's always, two brains are always better than one, guys. You have to learn to collaborate with people. I go to workshops. I go to a lot of business expos. I read a lot. Read more than you scroll. Read more than you scroll. You don't know if your scrolling is real or fake. You don't know if this person that's on social media with 50,000 followers selling a get rich quick scheme and a product actually have 50,000 followers. They may have 5 and 45,000 bots, but it looked good. It looked like money, right? So you jump on and then you realize you paid this $399, $49 a month, blah, blah, blah. You pay for this subscription, all this mess, and it's absolutely benefits you none. I don't sell subscriptions on my platforms because why? Why do I need to? I don't need to sell $2.99 subscriptions for you to come and hear what I gotta say. You can hear it over here free. But you can't get the tailored format for free. So if you want to know in detail how to do what it is you do, if you want to bake cookies and you just don't know how to get it up and get it started, let me help you. I can help you. I can help you. $99, $97 actually. You get your tailored plan. You get your tailored plan. I'm not trying to sell you fluff. I'm telling you what I know. And you can Google it. My stuff is online. It's reputable. It is what it is. It speaks for itself. My goal is my personal goal. My journey is personal. I'm not telling Facebook or social media or nobody, oh, well, it's my goal to make $2 million in 10 years. That's my goal. And when I hit my goal, and I'll be able to teach you the next step. Because that's the way it works with me. And I'm a very private person when it comes to finances. I feel like everybody don't have to broadcast their money and their relationships, but I do believe in sharing information. I think the only way for you to learn and to grow and to start any business, it doesn't matter, or even in your education, if you want to go to school, they're going to first send you a pamphlet. They're going to send you information. You have to have information to move forward with anything you do. So y'all stop getting it in your head that you just going to start these businesses and you're not going to have a plan. You need a plan. You need a concrete plan, and you need to stick to that plan. I woke up every night at 1 a.m. Had to be to work at 7:30 a.m. One contract I had to be to work at 6 a.m. Another contract I had to be to work at 8 a.m. But the whole time I was on the road, I go back into my hotel or my condo or my Airbnb, wherever I was, and I open up my laptop 1 o'clock in the morning, and I start working on my work. I've done my day job, but now I'm going to work on my work. And it didn't come overnight. This didn't come overnight. I have many of audio listeners on Ring Your Mouth podcast that's streaming, but I didn't really feel the niche to pull it over when it came over to YouTube. I felt like I wanted to separate the entities, so that's what I did. And I said, well, I'm going to do girl talk over here because I want to cater just to you girls. Show us how to get businesses started and they have longevity. Because we can start anything. I could wake up tomorrow and say, I'm going to start selling ice cream and go get a box of ice cream, stand on the corner, sell the ice creams and make some money. But is that longevity? Is that something that I want to do? Is that something that I'm actually going to put my everything into for years to come? Probably not. And then what happens when it gets cold? I didn't think it through, right? I'm not going to be outside selling ice cream when it gets cold. So you have to have a plan. People will eat ice cream when it's cold, but I'm not going to be outside selling it. So I stuck with the things that I like doing. I've been writing all my life, long before AI. I've been designing clothes all my life, long before we got into the t-shirt era. I've always written down slogans. I've always been a writer. I've always been had a photographic memory. I see something and I say, oh, let me jot that down. And I either wrote a poem or I wrote a slogan or I said something about what I saw. That was my passion. So I turned my passion into money. And granted, if I walk out of my day job today, I'm not going to be hungry. My job finances my passion. So find you something that you like doing, something that you are good at, not because your neighbor is doing it. Stop looking to your left and looking to your right. Look straight ahead. Look in the mirror and say, what do I want to do? What am I good at? What am I good at? What really, that's like with athletes. You have a whole football team, whole basketball team, whole swim team. Everybody's not going to make it to the finish line first. Everybody's not going to be a starter because that's not what they're probably cut out to do. Maybe they like it, but that doesn't mean they're good at it because it just may not be their God-given talent. This is my God-given talent. I can help you tap into what your God-given talent is. Tell me what it is. Think about it first. Think about it and say, don't worry about, take the money aspect out of it. Because at first, I was like, I had a good job anyway. So I'm like, I ain't worried about if I'm going to make the money or not. But who doesn't want to make money, right? But that can't be your whole sole focus. You can't just be so focused on, oh, I got to make some money. If that's the case, then you probably need to do something else. Because most of the things that sell today are not get rich quick schemes. If you start a product, it's probably not going to sell overnight. You got to build your audience. You got to get out and you got to market and you got to network. You publish a book. A lot of kids are not reading. A lot of adults are not reading. They're on tablets. I don't have a Kindle book. My book is ebook. I have ebooks, but I don't just do per se all audio. I do print. I like print. So it's a little bit harder audience to appease to because not everyone still wants to have print, but everyone is going to get it on their tablet. They can download an ebook if they want to. But I don't mean everybody's going to purchase your print, even though that's where your money's going to be because you're going to make more money with print products than you will e-products, digital products, because who's going to pay $15 for something that you can download? It's just a download. So, those products usually sell lower in the lower end. However, they still sell. So you got to put in your mind and you got to focus on longevity and quality versus quantity and money because you'll be running around chasing your tail forever if that's all you're concerned with. Believe in yourself, use your money, sit down, focus on your plan, commit to it, create it, and conquer it. That's all you got to do. Stop being so fast. Some people are so quick. As soon as they see somebody making money off of something, oh, I got to do that. You see somebody else making money off of something, oh, I have to do that. You see this and, oh, I got to do that. You haven't finished what you started. Finish what you start first. Finish this. And if that doesn't work, hop over here to this. Mind you, start 100 things if you want to, but you got to finish something. I finish what I start. I have several entities, but I finish what I start because you make plans. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to work on this. Tuesday, Thursday, I'm going to work on this. Saturday, I'm going to work on this. Sunday's going to be my free day. That's how I structure my life. And that's how I structure my plans for the 3 clients that I've had and my future clients. Structure. Because without structure and order, you have chaos. You cannot work in a junky workspace. Some people are, oh, I love my orchestrated chaos. I know everything is. No, you don't. You know everything is, and that's on you. But what about if somebody has to come in and do this for you? When I'm out sick or when I had an assistant, she was all over the place. She didn't even know how to get in my email because she never worked Outlook before. And I'm like, what do you do? What did I hire you for? I got all LinkedIn. And she didn't have a clue. So she was no benefit to me because this is not something that this wasn't her strong area. So now I know when I seek help and seek for assistance, make sure they know ABC. Do you prove to me I need you to show me that you know how to do a spreadsheet. I need you to show me that you know you have worked in Excel. I need you to show me that you can create a Word document without AI. I need you to show me that if this fails, you can do this. You can actually know where to put a period and a comma. These are the things that we have to keep in mind. You have to know a little bit about your business to run your business. You can't rely on everybody else that you pay or you hire or you piggyback with to do your work for you. And that's where I messed up in the beginning. I didn't understand publication. I didn't understand my royalties. I didn't understand the concept of somebody else governing my accounts. So I lost and I had to start over. And it's taken me a little bit longer to complete this series than I anticipated. But guess what? It's still going, it's still moving. All praise to God because I focused, I committed, I created, and I conquered. Sit down, be still, pay attention to yourself, spend your own money. If you don't have, everybody may not have 10 grand to spend. Start with what you got. If you got $100, you utilize your $100 and put it back and say, hey, I'm gonna wait until I have $500 if that's what it takes to start my company. If that's what it takes for me to get my first set of t-shirts, I'm gonna wait until I have $500. I'm not gonna have do stuff. Just put that $100 back, another $100 the next week, another the next week. Purchase your first bulk t-shirts. If you're gonna go out and start doing nails, I know my kit and my UV light is gonna cost me $199. I'm gonna borrow $199. Save your $199. Get your first few clients. Make it pay for itself. Then you move on and get you another one, and then you get another one after they start paying for themselves. So I don't rush into publication and creating new brand until the first idea pays for itself. When it starts paying for itself, then I'm on to the next thing. That's the key. That's the key to residual income, having a side hustle that's actually bringing in you more revenue than losses. Let it pay for itself. But you can't be doing too much. You can't be moving too fast, and you can't be starting more stuff than you got money to pay for because you have overhead. You got people to pay. You got product to buy. You got marketing to purchase. You have overhead in any business, whether it's online or brick and mortar in your house. You still got to buy something to keep it going. So make sure that it's making money before you go adding more debt into that entity. Okay. So with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this segment of Girl Talk. And I hope my girlies are out there really just making stuff happen. Make it happen. I don't know what's going on with this weather, y'all, but I hope when I come back on March 1st that I have my complete voice back. I'm not all icky and sticky and stuffy, and y'all can hear me clearly because we're gonna talk about yesterday. Next episode, we're gonna talk about yesterday. That Valentine's, that love day, who we love and who we want to be loving, all that good stuff. Yeah, we're going to get into it. But I want to give y'all a day to enjoy it before I start putting a little sauce on it, and giving you my perspective and talking to you girls about what we girls go through, our expectations and our anticipations and just, our girly life. It's tough being a girl. It's tough being a girl, especially in this world, and especially if you're over 40. So much competition out here, so much stuff that everybody's got their hands in. Because let me touch on this too when it comes to business. You got to stop looking at the celebrities and what they're doing because they're looking at y'all. They're looking at us and they're saying, oh, podcasting working out. Let me start a podcast. And they already got 1 million followers. So, of course, theirs is going to be popular. Oh, this person over here selling tea. Oh, let me get into the skinny tea. They're going to do it. They're watching you too. They're watching you too. And they're taking our ideas and, the little man, it's like at a job. The little man doing all the work, but the boss getting the credit, right? So don't keep paying attention to them and what they're doing and trying to get like them. Make them want to get like you. Make them come over and say, hey, let me partner with such and such. Let me put my money into such and such. Because just because they're famous doesn't necessarily mean they're always good. And they are in their niche either. Some of them do absolutely way too much of what they don't need to be doing. They want to get their hands in every cookie jar. For what? You already done made millions and millions of dollars. Stick with what you're good at. You know, you want to go from over here to rapping, you want to jump over here to singing, you want to jump over here and start tap dancing. I'm not saying that you can't. Do whatever it is you want to do in life, but make sure that you're good at it and it's for you. Don't just do it because you can and take out of other people's mouth. And that's what we have a lot going on. A lot of them just do stuff because they can do it. They absolutely suck at it. But you, my dear girl, don't look over there and try to do what the celebrity on the stage doing. It's just because they ringing their butt don't mean you got to ring your butt. Just because you think sex is selling right now don't mean you got to go sell yours. Stick to what you like and what you do and what you know you will actually wake up in 10, 15 years and want to do. And I promise you that probably won't be it because you'll probably have gravity pulling your ass down by then. So stick to something that you actually want to do. Okay, it's real simple. It's a lot out here, y'all. It's a lot of ideas and it's a lot of creativity that hasn't even been tapped into yet. We don't all have to do the same thing. And I just like t-shirts. I like t-shirts, and this to me, this slogan was something I knew that was going to take me for a long time. My journey is always going to be personal. I'm always going to be focusing on me to be a better me rather than focusing on somebody else and what they got going on. I'm not a nosy person. Even though I'm a podcaster, I'm not a nosy person. I have to find news to talk about, you know, current events, stuff like that. But some stuff just go over my head, y'all, because I be so caught up in what I'm doing. I honestly don't be knowing what's going on until it hit me in my lap or somebody sent it to me. Then I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm obsessed. That's just how I've always been. I stay in my lane. So get in your lane, never be broke again. You may not have $2,000 a week to spend, but if you got $100 extra that's coming in off of your business, you winning. You may not be a millionaire in 5 years, but if you come up out of your work check behavior, living check to check, and you can look over here in your other account and say, hey, I got a little money over here from my business, you winning. So always remember, start low, rise high. Start low, rise high. Nobody starts at the top. Nobody comes in this world fully grown. Your business won't be fully grown. It's going to have to grow. You gotta water it. You gotta foster it. You gotta pour into it. You gotta rub that baby every day. You gotta wake up in the morning, lay down at night with your ideas beaming off the wall, and you gotta really focus. You can't be around here focusing on these celebrities' business and worrying about everybody else 20 hours out of your day, and you only got 4 left. Focus on that business if you want to. Go gossip, go do whatever it is you want to do, but make time for you too. Put time in for you as well. Make sure that you have done what you need to do before you go play. Like your mama used to tell you, do your chores before you go outside. Do your chores before y'all go outside. Do your business and do your homework before you get over there in other people's business. Before you get on social media, if you know you one of those people that cannot stop scrolling and you cannot stop shopping and you cannot stop being in everybody else's business, then don't do your social media sites first. Do your managing, excuse me, do your books, um, do your marketing, do all that stuff first. Then go do your social media marketing if you know you're gonna be distracted. Okay? I'm out. I don't feel good. I'll see y'all March 1st for next episode. Thank y'all for tuning in.